Okay. Yes. This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast coming live and direct from the Gloom Tomb of Los Angeles, California. I'm in here with G. Moody. And last name rhymes with duty.
Yep.
We are in Los Angeles doing the damn thing.
That is right. Face to face. No did out.
My name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Mr. White Folks, a.k.a. White Mike. Some people still call me Bird. And there's a few people who still call me Milk.
Or Ike.
Yeah. In Brownsville, that's what they call all Mikes. They call, not Mike Tyson, they call him
Ike.
This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. This is the only non-fact-checking podcast in the world.
On the planet.
One of my AKAs also is the Mike Jackson of podcasting.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. G. Moody and I were just in Salt Lake City and Park City, Utah.
Beautiful.
Have you ever been to Utah, Moody?
First time. And I want to thank the Los Angeles Clippers for hosting us. And they really treated us nice, and it was great. Park City was great.
And we were at a Utah Jazz Clippers game, LA Clippers.
Yep.
What'd you think of watching the Clippers up close first time?
Oh, man, the Clippers are great, a good team. CP3 is hurt, but Austin Rivers fills in respectively.
Yo, Austin Rivers
is bad. It's dope.
Yeah, don't try to front on Austin Rivers like, oh, his dad.
Nah.
Austin Rivers is no joke.
He's capable of holding it down.
And he'll crack that ass.
And
what'd you think of watching Big Blake for the first time?
Yo, very quick and plays with mad energy. And before the tag on him was he's kind of soft. Remember Zach Randolph was kicking that bullshit? That is not the case. He will flush it on your fucking head. And rebound DeAndre Jordan.
Yes.
Great, good players, man. Clippers is bad, man.
Yeah, and we're doing a podcast with the Clippers.
Yep. We can't forget Jamal Crawford.
Jay Crossover.
Yeah,
we're gonna get him on the podcast.
Yeah. Seattle's finest.
Yeah, Seattle is a hotbed for NBA. They have this version of Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
Who else came from? Nate Robinson,
Brandon Roy.
There's a whole bunch of dudes.
Marvin Williams.
Right.
It's a whole Seattle is like the New York, how New York used to be with providing players to the league.
A hotbed of NBA players.
Absolutely.
And college talent.
Shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yes. His posse is on Broadway.
Yep.
And my baby got back. That was my R&B voice. I was like my, I'm going to slow it down.
Your Vaughn Harper shit.
This is going to slow it down here. This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. I'm going to play some Isley Brothers. And then we're going to get into some Smokey Robinson. This is the, what was it called? This is the Quiet Storm here. It's the Quiet Storm here. It's the Gringo Mandingo taking you through the night's hits.
Yes.
All you ladies, just relax. And fellas, get your oil out. You want to massage your ladies, treat them right. It's the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Anyway, so on this I Am Rapaport stereo podcast, we are trying to track down the official, unofficial, political correspondent of the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. He's been on many episodes with us. Yes. The great Eli Lake.
Yep.
Was tweeted by fucking Donald Trump.
The leader of the free world.
Yo, Donald Trump shouted out Eli Lake. Because of an article he wrote, and then he was on Sean Hannity or one of these shows, and Donald Trump probably didn't read the article.
Okay.
And he shouted out our guy. His profile picture, his avatar and his thing says, official, unofficial correspondent of the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. And that means that at this point, government is very well aware of us.
Right.
We're being vetted right now. I've checked my house for taps and bugs. I haven't found anything yet. Wheezy has been sniffing around in areas that he normally doesn't. I think he's onto something. But I just have to say, the fact that Eli was shouted out by the president of the United States. You hit me to it.
Yep.
When did you see it?
I saw it this morning at 6 a.m., and I was like, our guy.
He's one of our guys.
Our guy got shouted out. and congratulated by
Yes.
the president of the United States. So, Eli Lake, are you a Trump guy?
Ooh, you have to ask him that question. Anyway, we're going to call him up. But me and Moody are face-to-face in L.A. We're rocking right now. Okay, I'm going to jump right into this right now. College basketball.
Yeah.
Women's college basketball. There's a coach of UConn. First of all, I want to give total shout-out to all girls that play basketball. High school, junior high school.
Past,
pros. I've played against so many different former WNBA players and stars.
Yep.
Diana Taurasi, my girl Sue Bird in the Celebrity All-Star Game. I played with a bunch of actors versus the women's Olympic team. They bust our ass. So I have nothing but respect for the women's game.
they nice.
They will bust your ass.
Yeah.
Do not sleep. It ain't the 70s where it's like, oh, they're just a girl.
No.
They will crack. I've got my ass cracked many a times. And these chicks, they don't play games.
They don't play.
So I want to congratulate the players that just won for UConn 100 games straight. Woo! Unprecedented. I have no problem with you. Got a problem with your fucking coach.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Gino what? Amanaro?
Yeah.
Amamaria? How you say his name?
I don't know. Auriemma?
Auriemma, that's
Yeah.
it. Gino Auriemma. I'm not impressed with you.
Word.
You won 100 games in a row. Okay? 56 of the 100 games you won by 40 points.
Right. What's the competition, B?
97 out of 100 games you won by double digits. At what point does it become inhumane, you fuck?
Yeah. Beating up on motherfuckers.
Yeah. If you're so good, Gino, you're so fucking good. Well, why don't you go out there with 4 girls, play 4-on-5, instead of beating them by 40 points? You're such a great coach. Why don't you send 4 girls out there?
Right. Why don't you, since you're such a great coach, go to the men's now?
Take your talents elsewhere.
Right. You beating up on these motherfuckers and embarrassing them. That's not what competition is about. You're not playing against obviously you're not playing against competition.
Listen, we could obviously, with no disrespect intended, we could say that women's college basketball is nowhere near across the board as competitive as men's college basketball. No one would argue that.
Word.
Why don't you take your talents to South Beach? Take your fucking talents elsewhere. Haven't you done all you can do? You won 100 straight games, and then after the game, they're like, I don't want to talk about going to 200. He's like one of these guys like, Mr. Humble. Bullshit.
Yeah. You get some black girls from Brownsville. We're going to set up a team. Jerry Tarkanian's Lady UNLV motherfuckers to bust your ass.
Like the Running Rebels, but with Larry Johnson and Mo Scurry, the team that was like, they didn't give a fuck. We need to set up a team like that. Can you get us somebody to recruit some hard-hitting Brooklyn chicks?
Yeah. We can go around my way. We can get them. Hell yeah.
And the great Doris Burke, who I totally respect, ESPN's Doris Burke, she was saying, because she played college ball, she was saying, Gino, he should be looked at like the Belichicks and the Phil Jacksons and the Popovich. Doris Burke.
Hold your horses.
If there's a council meeting and the late, great Red Auerbach and all these great coaches are sitting down and Phil and Popovich and all of them are there, Gino will be the fucking valet. Okay? Gino's like, you ever know that movie Goodfellas?
Yes.
Remember Spider? Yeah, come on, Spider. Go get me a drink, Spider. I thought you said... no, I didn't say give me that. I said give me this. I said, what do you be? You breaking my balls? I said, go fuck yourself, Tommy. And he shoots him in the foot. Spider comes back. He grows a couple of pair of balls. And then Tommy, Joe Pesci's character, he's popping shit again. He says, Spider, give me a drink. Spider, he said, go fuck yourself, Tommy. And he shoots him and he fucking kills him. And De Niro's like, what are you going to... You're fucking Spider, Gino Auriemma. That's who you are amongst the coaches. You're getting the drinks for the big boys at the table. Phil Jackson and Popovich and the great Hubie Brown. They're like, Gino, come over here, Gino. He said, sit down for a second. He said, oh, really? Can I sit down? Yeah, sit down at the table. You sure it's okay? No, sit down. It's fine. And then they sit down and they go, you know what, Gino? Go get me some more pretzels. I want a pretzel. Go pick me up a fucking pasta. Why don't you go do that, Gino? We're not impressed with you, Gino.
Yeah, we're not. We not.
100 games straight. And he's
Beating
like,
motherfuckers by 50.
And they're actually talking about 200 games straight. And you're sitting there, and you're happy with yourself.
Right.
You're impressed with yourself. And he's like, oh, Mr. Humble, and his don't put the Maloik on me. Why don't you go get me a drink, Spider?
Give me a cup of coffee.
Go get me a fucking drink, Spider. And you know what? I'm getting ready to leave. Go pull my fucking car up in front, Gino. I treat him like fucking Spider. Spider was Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher in The Sopranos. You know what scene I'm talking about. So, Gino, you're going to have to do a little more to impress us here at the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast.
How about retiring because you won 100 and you're beating these people by 50? After a while, yo, we done all we could do.
Yeah, or maybe coach a men's team.
Yeah, let's see you coaching, cojones.
Yeah.
Coaching cojones.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Don't you want to challenge yourself? Don't you want to see what kind of moxie you're real made of? So what championship medal you're really made of, Gino? And if you don't, why don't you go get my fucking coat? Because it's getting a little chilly. You know what, Gino? Actually, you know what? Why don't you rub my back?
Yeah.
Have him rub my. Why don't you rub my back? Why don't you fix it? Get ready to fix it a little bit.
Get it fixed.
G Moody.
What's the deal?
What do you want to discuss? You're here in L.A. You're Mr. L.A. You got me fucking driving you around all over the place. What's going on with you?
Motherfuckers recognizing me now. I like this shit, boy.
Yo, that's real.
Yeah, motherfuckers tapped me on my shoulder. They heard my voice, and they said, you sound like G Monetti. I said, yeah, that's me.
G Moody.
Rhymes with duty.
Yes.
So,
go ahead.
So, I got some hot takes. I got some shit. A lot of motherfuckers talking about this equality shit, right? I see cats wearing a shirt saying equality. And I'm saying, I don't understand that. Who do you want to be equal to?
Break it down.
Equality, there are certain levels of income, and I want equality in law, where the law is doled out equal to all the citizens, irrespective of ethnicity, color, everything. And opportunity is more important than equality.
Right.
Who are you yearning to be equal to?
Yes.
I only want opportunity. So this is why immigrants come here. They're not in those waters with the shark-infested waters to come here just for equality.
Right.
They come here because they have the idea that it's going to be opportunity for us because it's hopelessness where we are. I told you Mexican cats a year and a half ago to get your papers right because we knew me.
Yeah,
Rapaport didn't know.
On the podcast,
Rapaport didn't know.
Back it up because there always are new listeners and remind people what you did say.
I said Mexican cats.
You even said blacks. You said
black, get your slave freedom papers.
And have them on you.
Yeah.
Like a license.
Right, because I knew we've been dealing with these type of white folks for 5 centuries.
Right.
We know the time.
Right.
The white man is back.
Right.
And now he's not going after us.
Wait. The white man is back?
The white man is back.
Right. He's bringing sexy back.
Yeah. He's not going after us. No more. He's going after the immigrants. And you're not the faux white man. You thought you were. And now he's stopping your ass at the airport. And we just going to Disneyland. Those black Americans going right past your ass, and you want us to help you. No. Hold your own nuts.
Right.
Get your Martin Luther King. And the lawyers, they don't help us. When black people getting killed in the streets, the lawyers don't run to the scene.
Right.
Right? It's like we on our own. So you on your own.
And there's so many protests. And I support the people out there because I feel like it's having an effect.
Wait, right. I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
I support the refugees fleeing terror with their families and stuff from nations. I think you should be allowed. But motherfuckers just coming in and want to come in, he stopped that.
Right.
Go ahead.
The protest. Yo, we break your balls. We poke fun, but I feel like it is having an impact and people are relentless. and people are resisting, and I think that's dope. I mean, there's protests for everything. But at some fucking point, man, the fucking protests have got... I'm protesting the fucking protests.
Word. We got our sign.
Oh, yeah, we got our own. We're going to fucking... The shut the fuck up movement. That's what I'm starting. Okay? We're going to do the shut the fuck up and do something movement.
Yeah.
Because if you're just out there protesting to meet chicks, and because it's trendy, I literally... On God as my witness, I literally walked past two 20-something young dudes with skinny jeans. Ooh. I swear on everything.
Really?
I heard him say this. Well, you know, let me get the right wordings. It was something to the effect of, I don't have the exact, because I'm flowing right now, but it was something to the effect of literally something like this. Well, you know, I'm all into my protesting and stuff right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you're moving mountains, asshole.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking yoga class.
That's what they be doing. They have the yoga mats with their ass out there. They go to yoga and then go to protest.
The shut the fuck up movement.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Is being started by G Moody, last name rhymes with duty, and the entire Rapapack. By the way, I want to shout out.
Shut the fuck up.
The shut the fuck up movement. Yo, I can't do all the names. We see all the tweets. I think that we respond to 99.9%
love the guy.
of all the love. And so, you know, if you talk greasy and you catch me, I'm in a bad mood, you come on my Twitter talking shit, I'm going to talk about you. If I see a picture of your wife, I'm talking about her and her buck teeth.
Word.
I'm talking about her bad skin. Talking about she got a little bald spot on her. Don't come in my feed popping shit.
Yeah.
Because you know everything about me. I know nothing about you.
Yeah.
You know nothing, but if I catch a picture of you, you got hair growing out your nose, looking all fucked up, teeth are all wobbly. This is what I do for a living, you fuck. Okay, first name fuck, last name boy.
Yeah.
First name fuck, last name boy. But I want to give a shout out to somebody who's been supportive, who I work with sometimes on Fox Sports, my girl Joy Taylor.
Oh, the lovely. Joy Taylor's badder than a motherfucker.
And loves the podcast. Shout, always giving us love, always tweeting.
And her brother, who's in the Hall of Fame, Jason Taylor.
Former NFL goon.
Yes.
Well, one of these like pretty boy light-skinned goons.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But will smack the wind out of you.
Yeah.
So Joy, I appreciate the support, and again, no fighting with the Rapapack. I think it's cooled down, but listen, it's all love. I'm not going to be able to shout out every single person all the time.
Yep.
Okay? But we think about you, we talk about you. Me and G will be driving them like, can you believe motherfuckers giving us love like that? We appreciate all of it.
We love it.
But today, I just wanted to say, because I saw Joy, I was on Undisputed. I brought the noise and the motherfucking boys to Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. And then I took my talents over to Colin Cowherd with the whole Oakley thing. And Joy's just been a fan and a supporter of the podcast.
Yeah, she's
dope. From day one.
A class act. But I want to tell them protesters, like my man Drake said, where were you? Where your ass was at when they was spraying us with water hoses? Where your ass was at when they was bombing up the churches? Where your ass was at when they was lynching us for fun? Where were you?
This is Drake?
That's his song. I want to tell the protesters who weren't there for the black people.
What song is that?
That's one of the Drake joints. Mm-hmm. I hear it in the car with my daughter, so I fucking transfixed it.
Speaking of Drake, he's one of the people that didn't show up but won awards at the Grammys.
Oh, snubbed it, huh?
Him and Kanye, Frank Ocean.
Kanye couldn't come out because he's in Bellevue. I give him a pass.
Okay. Frank Ocean made a big to-do. He's not, he's this, he's that.
That guy sucks, man. I heard his record. Jesus Christ.
Yo, listen, our standards are high.
Yeah. We're talking Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, Maurice White, who else, right?
I listened to Lou Rawls as a kid.
Yeah.
You'll never find.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, his voice was like
Johnny Taylor.
But Lou Rawls' voice was like a piece of freshly cut, cured leather.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah. Word.
Deep, thick leather.
Word.
And you know, like Frank Ocean, and then you're banning the Grammys? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Tribe Called Quest shut it down. Again, but you were banning it?
Right.
You mean Frank Ocean? You wanted to make it about you instead of going to see a Tribe Called Quest perform live?
Right.
You wanted to make it about you. Jay-Z was there.
Hip hop icons.
But you wanted to ban it and Drake and but Tribe, you never know when they're gonna perform again. We know what that group has been through. You wanted to ban it. You wanted to make it about you.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then Chance the Rapper, listen. I'm not knocking anybody.
Me neither.
This is a young kid. I know he's totally positive.
Yep.
His message is positive. But this is not hip-hop music. Me and G Moody had a listening party.
In the car.
We were like, you know what? We can't talk about Chance the Rapper.
We have to give him a chance.
We have to give Chance a chance. We saw him at the Grammys. G Moody, you had an idea because you don't like it the way he dresses.
Yeah, the fucking hat. The hat, I'm mad at the hat. And the way it's propped up on his fucking head.
Right, and at the Grammys, did you like him going upstairs?
I wanted to fucking tip it off.
So if you were at the Grammys, what would you have done?
I'd run up on stage and just flick it off, but I'd run up on stage naked, just to like Kanye would run up and grab the mic. I'd run up naked and tip his hat off and grab it and then run back.
You'd like the streaker at the Oscars.
Yes.
Chance the Rapper, listen. I
let's
know you're a good kid. I've seen him talk.
Yeah.
I've read about you. I've heard about you. Seen you on interviews. What you're doing is not hip hop.
Yeah, please.
I'm sorry.
You're doing some Conway Twitty shit.
Break it down. What was your take?
My take from hearing.
I'm happy you have your success. I know what you're doing is positive, but you have to do the pioneers a favor and say, this is not hip hop music. This is whatever it is, it's good.
Right.
But it ain't.
Right. It ain't hip hop. Because if I'm gonna buy, now I don't know the standard of these kids today.
It's different.
It's different. But if I'm claiming hip hop, I'm expecting, when you put that shit on, I'm expecting them drums to bang. So my head could nod like, oh, he's in the pocket, he's rocking, he's rhyming.
Funky.
There's no drums in the shit.
What do you mean no drums?
There's no drums. Like when motherfuckers, Lost Professor, if you go to Lost Professor album, you go to Pete Rock, you go to Dre shit, yo, those drums that you hear are from old 70s records that they found, right? And some people flip them and change them around, but when you hear them on the record, it's banging and it automatically makes your head nod. And the rapper rhymes on the drum, which gives the rhythm that he's in the pocket with the drum. Hence, rapping. That's hip hop. So I'm listening, you put the shit on, and there's no drums, and there's some Shirley Caesar or Mighty Clouds of Joy shit. What the fuck is that? Don't call that hip hop music. Call it church shit.
Right.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know what this shit is because I was born in New York City. So I'm saying, that's hip hop music? What the fuck are we talking about?
I know. Yo, we talk about it. If you haven't listened to the interview with Lord Finesse, it's 30 minutes with the funky technician, and it's a dope interview. And we talk about it. And we've talked about it since we started.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, like, we're not haters. Me and G Moody are not.
I like these little motherfuckers, except the auto C word.
What's that?
Auto C word. I don't want to call these guys flat out coons.
Okay, you're saying auto
C word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing about the Grammys is it was like a Beyonce love fest. She deserves it. Adele, talk about white guilt. She won the Grammy.
And said, no, I don't want this shit.
And she all but gave the Grammy back to Beyonce. Adele, you had a great album. Beyonce already won like 7 Grammys that night. Like, is everybody like freaked out that Kanye's gonna run? Adele, if Kanye runs up there, kick him the fuck off the fucking stage. No, but I just think it's crazy. Yo, just because, it's not like Beyonce was snubbed. She won a whole bunch of Grammys. She had one of the performance of the night. And then Adele wins Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year. I don't fucking know. Watching that Grammys, it was like running a goddamn marathon.
Right. Yeah, Beyonce, everybody's freaked out with, is Kanye going to run up? Just get the security MOP. Just have them motherfuckers standing around. Guarantee you nobody coming up there.
Mash out posse. Adele, do a song with MOP. Then you could win the awards and you could say, fuck everybody. I'm the baddest British bitch in the planet.
And what they need to do with the Grammys is the one who sold the most records gets the Grammy.
You think that'll solve it?
Yeah. Yo, think about it. It's all about selling records for the record company.
Right.
Now, you take out all the uncertainty. Who sold the most records? Oh, you get the Grammy. Clear cut. Nobody can fucking dish you because you can make the claim, yo, I got the Grammy because I sold the most records. Fuck you.
And these artists, these so-called artists, protesting the Grammys and I didn't win the Grammys, I didn't get nominated for enough Grammys. If you're really a pure artist, who gives a fuck? Who cares about the fucking trophies?
Word.
Who really cares? You know, at the end of the day, time will tell what the song of the year was, what the record of the year was for 2016. Time will tell. These quote-unquote instant classics, if you might even be listening to this instant classic in a few weeks. Time will tell what the song and record of the year of 2016, 17, and so forth and so on is. Just remember, Marvin Gaye won one Grammy while he was alive. One. Okay?
One.
Okay, so it's not always correct.
Right.
And it doesn't mean they're always wrong. It's just like if you're an artist, you make the shit, and whatever happens, the accolades are accolades. You're all doing well, you're all making money, you're all successful. You're fucking protesting it?
Yeah, protesting. Like
And Tribe Called Quest is there? I don't even need to say some of the other people that are performing. This is the I Am Rapaport podcast. The I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast is sponsored by Casper Mattress, an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. You could try a Casper mattress for 100 nights risk-free in your home. If you do not love it, they will pick it up and refund you everything. With over 20,000 reviews online and an average of 4.8 stars, Casper is quickly becoming the internet's most popular mattress. They have sheets, they have pillows, they even have doggy beds. Go to Casper.com, save $50 towards any mattress purchased by visiting www.casper.com/Rapaport. Use the promo code Rapaport. Try a Casper mattress, 100 nights risk-free in your home. If you don't love it, they will pick it up and refund you everything. Go to www.casper.com/Rapaport.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
All right, we're back. I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast.
We rolling tonight, man.
Whew. We're going to call Eli Lake. I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I don't even know where to start. If you never listened to the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, we have an award that we give out, the Sick Fuck of the Week. It is an award that is earned, not given. I'll say that again slower. It is an award that is earned, not given. A certain je ne sais quoi, a certain a special quality will get you the Sick Fuck of the Week. This award is earned, not given. It's called the Sick Fuck of the Week. This guy's really sick. Lock him up. How could you do it? Don't let him out. Damn. You fucked the dog? You what? You fucked the dog? Why would you fuck the dog? Why would you fuck your girlfriend's dog? What? Sick fuck. The Sick Fuck of the Week. It's earned. Earned. Not given. You did what? No. No. No! This is the true essence of a sick fuck. A North Carolina mother says that video surveillance shows that her son, while being left at daycare, one of the daycare workers, one of the teachers, essentially, was breastfeeding her son.
Jesus.
Can you imagine if you found out that your child was dropped off at school or daycare or whatever you want to call it and was being breastfed by another person? That is a sick fuck.
She pulled out her titty and said, all right, you do it.
That's horrifying.
I come in there, I whip her ass.
I mean, that is way out there. Way the fuck out there. And it will earn this woman The sick fuck of the week. Congratulations.
I'll one-up you.
Ooh, okay.
They have something now called period shaming.
Go on about this. What the fuck are you? You told me this, and I don't believe it.
These certain women are saying, why should I hide my period? Why should I? They said it's what is it? It's beautiful. It's what she said, her menstruation, it's messy, it's terrible, it's beautiful, and yet you wouldn't know because I hide it.
You mean you wear a tampon or
Yeah, she said that's terrible. Why should we hide our periods? We should just bleed out because don't let these people shame us.
Whoa. This is a real thing?
This is a real thing. They had a woman that ran the London Marathon, and her period started, and she said, fuck it, and she ran, and she just was bleeding out all over the track.
And then she took photos. She was
Yeah, and between her legs, you had a red blotch that was smelling like pennies.
Now, I'm sorry. Listen, at a certain point, there's got to be being civil. Okay. If you think you could be in a yoga class and have your period and like you're doing your thing and everybody could see it and are aware of it, well then why can't I be in the same yoga class? I'll just shit myself.
Yeah.
Instead of having to pull over and shit on the street, why don't I just shit myself?
Shit shaming.
Yeah, you're shit shaming me.
Right.
If this is a real thing and this is going to be a real problem, well then you know what you're going to have to continue. Well, why do we need toilets?
Right. I'm
getting a little older, so my bladder is a little weaker. Maybe I'll just piss myself. I'll walk into a restaurant and be like, "Can I get a table for two, please?" And I'm pissing myself.
Yeah, and then you take a shit right there, and then don't talk about me because you're shit shaming me.
Yeah, I'll just be like, "Oh, pardon me, I'm shitting."
Word.
And then I'm just laying in. We're in the movie theater, like the credits, are scrolling.
Like my man Devon, you be like Devon. Yo, pardon me, I'm shitting.
Yes. That is way out there.
Period shaming.
Whoa, yeah. I'm gonna shame you if you're walking around and you're not doing anything. That's just like simple hygiene thing. And then if you get a problem with me doing that, and you say I'm period shaming you, well then let's see if you try to shit shame me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy
that shits outside.
Yeah, and I'm the guy who does it, but it's not for me. I'm doing it for other people. But if you're saying I could just walk around with like I'll just have a man diaper and not change it, my life's easier. And then no skin off my back. Ain't no problem for me. I'm gonna one up
me.
A married couple in Michigan. Like some couples like to freak off, okay? They like to bring in a third party.
I never had nothing like that.
Okay, I'm just telling you, that's a common thing.
That's bad, though.
A couple in Michigan tried to freak off with their daughter's friend. Okay, their daughter's 16-year-old friend. They solicited him. The wife was up all in his Snapchat.
Were?
And trying to freak off with the daughter's friend. A couple. This is a sick fuck.
Yeah.
This is a couple of sick fucks.
Oh, so they try to lace up the daughter's friend.
Yeah.
How old are these motherfuckers?
16. The parents are 41, 42.
Oh, shit. See, motherfuckers is wilding now.
That's a sick fuck of the week, and that's actually a couple.
Yeah, I can't one up you on that.
Of sick fucks of the week. Yeah. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, Charles Oakley, and the owner of the Knicks, Dolan, met. And the ban has been lifted. Oakley is saying, you know what? The ban has been lifted, but I'm still offended, hurt, and embarrassed by the things that were said about me. The head of security of the Garden lost his job, which I think is fucked up. Because I think that the comments made by the guard and the statement and then by Dolan, consequently, obviously, they pulled those back and they wanted to fix that up. But what about this guy that lost his job? This guy used to guard presidents. And they're saying, well, he messed up.
Why would he lose his job? Why do you think?
I don't know. To make it look, because to point fingers.
There's a reason. I think Oakley was. Now, I love Oak. Let me preface this shit. Oak represents New York, gritty shit. We love him. All New Yorkers love him. It's all solidified. My theory was Oakley had a little sauce before he went in, and he hasn't been treated well by the Knicks. And I can imagine him coming in Garden. Fuck these motherfuckers. I play here 10 years. These motherfuckers don't allow me to come back in this bitch. This is before he gets to his seat. Fucking Dolan. Fuck these niggas. And then he gets to his seat. This is why that guy got fired. Because he let him go to his seat in that condition. This is my opinion. And I love Charles Oakley.
We have an anonymous source who's so freaked out to come on the podcast, but that reached out to me. He's dying to tell his story. Who was right there
in the area, hearing it,
and he's making me sign things and totally go out of my way to protect his identity. He wants a voice thing on some Henry Hill shit, like when they interview mob guys. Right. He wants a voice distorter. And he said he was there, and the real story hasn't been coming out. And he said he was going to come on this, and then backed out.
But Rap, check this out.
Wait. So hopefully on the next podcast,
we get the story of a person who was there.
Yeah, we're going to call him
Scott Bale.
No, we're going to call him Customer X.
All right. Now check this out, Rap. Here's something. Why would the guards go to that area?
Why would the Madison Square Garden 15 minutes after the incident issue that statement saying defaming Charles Oakley?
Right.
This whole thing was handled hastily.
It was terrible.
They were pointing fingers at Oakley, and I think they were like, "Why did so and so let him sit down? Fire him too." I think the whole thing was mistreated and poorly handled. So I think the reason why with less than 24 hours after the incident,
damage control.
But exactly.
Yeah.
But then later they fix it up with Oakley. But this poor guy lost his fucking job.
Well, we need to get him on to.
That's what we need to do.
Yo,
that's what we need to get.
What state was this motherfucker in?
We need to get him on.
What did he say to you?
Maybe we'll try to get him on.
Let's get the truth. The truth sets motherfuckers free.
But the whole thing, it seems like it's going to go away for now. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'll be straight up with you. Like Saturday, like a few days after this shit happened, like I remember I woke up, I was like, this shit made me sad.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dragging that guy out of the arena who gave 10 years of blood and guts to see him dragged out. That's bad.
The irony of it is just, it's of Shakespearean proportions.
Right.
I
wouldn't come back. Would you come back? He said he's going to be with Cleveland now, like with LeBron. And of course, LeBron steps in and say, yo, you're welcome in Cleveland.
Right.
I would do that.
The ambassador, everything. The same guy who last year, this time, unfollowed his own team on Twitter and was confused and offended when a reporter said, hey, LeBron, I noticed last night, and the whole world noticed last night, that you unfollowed the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's looking at the guy like he's stupid. What are you, uncoupling from the Cleveland Cavaliers? You're like, I was going to sit down for lunch with them, and then, this is 7th grade? Like the girl you liked didn't let you sit down and have lunch with? You're unfollowing your fucking team?
Right. Now, you're Oakley. Would you come back?
In time. I'd come back next year.
Right. Next year.
I have mixed feelings about why all the players came back, the following Sunday for the San Antonio game, which they wound up winning.
Vin Baker came back, too.
Friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, the great Latrell Sprewell, he was there.
Yes.
I think the whole thing was like, I think it was just crazy, and I would come back eventually. I think Oakley, next season, he should come back when he feels comfortable and when it's organic, and I don't think it should be about him. It shouldn't be about him and Dolan. It should be about Oakley. And the fucking audience, the crowd.
The owner's fucked up to do that to that guy.
To Oakley.
Think about that.
And of course Oakley was wrong. He was belligerent in his behavior, and we know all that. But just the fact that it was Oakley, is just
the owner's fucked up. You'd have been like, if I'm the owner and Oakley's behind me, just say hypothetically he's behind talking greasy shit. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, don't worry about it, man. Just don't worry about it.
Let it go.
Let it go. It's all right. I'm gonna take off.
Right. If he comes near me.
Right, I'm going to take off.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like, leave.
Yeah.
A lot of these owners, like, Magic Johnson is outwardly campaigning to take control of basketball of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Buss's kid, isn't it Jim Buss? You know, they've had their problems. Listen, if you've never played ball, I don't give a fuck that you grew up around the Lakers and your father owned the Lakers. Yeah. And Magic Johnson says he wants to run the team. You give him he's going to do better.
Then yeah, hell yeah.
It's like he's Magic Johnson.
That's Madge, man.
It's like, number one, he knows business. He's such a successful businessman. Number two, he's a winner.
Right.
Number three, he understands basketball. And number four, he's Magic Johnson.
Right.
Jim Buss, as far as I'm concerned, now listen, I'm a celebrity game MVP.
Hell yeah, you done bust a lot of motherfuckers' ass. But you had 9 fouls and you still won an MVP.
So what?
So that's some sucker shit.
The trophy's here.
I saw it.
Okay, so the trophy is the trophy.
All right.
Please, the trophy is the trophy.
Proceed.
But I'm just saying, if Magic Johnson wants to take over the Lakers, you give him control of the Lakers. You should be happy.
What's the problem? Why would you want to do it if you never played ball?
He's another spoiled brat of his father's Jerry Buss, the great Jerry Buss, and you're going to argue with Magic Johnson?
Yeah,
you know nothing about basketball.
And you never made a layup.
Period. Oh, well, I grew up around the game. I understand. Shut the fuck up,
Duke. Yo, Jim, step down. Give it to Magic and give it to motherfucking Larry Spriggs. Them the motherfuckers.
Yeah, and beat it.
Yeah.
And beat it. All right, this is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We're about to call our guy Eli Lake up. What more can I say? I can tell you this. We have coming up on episodes, if you're listening to this in chronological order, the great Wood Harris is back. Fantastic.
Actor extraordinaire.
Fantastic episode with Wood Harris. We have Jay Williams, NCAA Jay Williams, who covers all the NCAA. Duke Jay Williams.
Ball player extraordinaire.
We have Kmart, Kenyon Martin.
Goon extraordinaire.
We have a lot mo. We got a lot of shit in the cannon. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm going to call Eli Lake with me and G Moody, whose last name rhymes with duty.
For sure.
Next.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Yo.
Eli Lake.
What's up?
What's up?
Yo, it's me and G Moody. Last name rhymes with duty. We're here together. We're calling you. Things have changed in the world, Eli Lake.
It's true.
Yes.
All right, let me introduce you to the people. Eli Lake, the official, unofficial, political correspondent of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Worldwide, we've been through the highs, we've been through the lows of the election. We fought off the hipster fucks of the world, and this morning I wake up tweeting. I got all kinds of tweets. Eli Lake, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast political correspondent, got shouted out by Donald Trump.
D-Trump.
D-Trump shouted you out. When did you hear about this? And break it down for the people, how this happened and what was the article. And also your day, today you're on this news channel and that news channel.
Right.
Yet, we feel like you're one of ours. You're one of our own. And we're so proud and happy that you got the shout out. But you must have mixed feelings. Tell me how the last 24 hours have been, Mr. Lake. I've never called you Mr. Lake before, but now I feel like, first of all, the phone could be tapped.
Trump is claiming you.
It was very interesting because the column defended Mike Flynn in the sense that, and on a serious note, I'm troubled by leaking monitored conversations of American citizens and U.S. officials. And I think that if we normalize that, then it really does give enormous power to the unelected national security state to basically, they just knocked out one of the top advisors to President Trump. And I have to say, so the night before, I did the Sean Hannity show, but I also did the Chris Hayes show. And so I was doing the left and the right because people were interested. It was a big column. And the Fox tweeted like something I might have said to Sean Hannity, and I think Trump saw that on Fox and Friends, and he just like repeated it, because if he had read the article, if he read my column, what I start off by saying it doesn't make sense to fire a guy for lying when basically this is a president that has like been lying his ass off. Like, I just sort of went through it of like, he said it wasn't raining on his inauguration. Of course it was. He was talking about these illegal voters. I mean, like, it was like it was like blatant from the get-go. So that was the beginning of the column, and then it got into this question that I'm concerned about, which is leaking these monitored, phone calls and stuff. So I'm saying it's a complicated thing. And at the end of the piece, I'm like, yo, dude, you let Flynn go. That was a bad mistake, because Flynn is the appetizer and Trump, you're the entree. You're the main course. This is where this is going, dude. And I really believe that. I think that this is like his presidency is in free fall. It's in trouble right now. But I think he saw that. I don't know if he read it. I don't know if he just saw that thing from Fox and Friends, but I think it's like there's one guy out there that's not like shitting all over me. I'm just going to put, I don't know what it was, but it was crazy because, people were saying I'm soft on Russia. And as the Rapper Pack knows, I've been tough on Russia and Trump in Russia here on this podcast. So and my writing. So it was a crazy day.
All right, wait. I want to get into the Russia and the Flynn of it all. But where were you when you first saw the tweet? What has been the response? Have you heard from old friends? What about those Chapo fucks and the hipster fucks that were trying to pop shit? And like, just tell me, like, before we get into the details of it, but just tell me, like, that must have tripped you out to see that. And like, what's been the reaction of it? Did you hear from your family, like a third grade teacher, girls that had turned you down in the past?
My mom sent me a text. And she's like, I cannot believe he did this to you. Because my mom is really hardcore anti-Trump. She was on the Women's March in Philadelphia. I mean, she's out there, like she's like trying to find protests, and she's doing all this stuff on her Facebook page. So she was really upset, and she's like, and I know that's not what you meant in that piece. She was like, so I got my mom on that first. And
because your mom's thinking that like he's saying like you're almost like a Trump supporter in a way.
What, like kiss of death. Right, like that kind of thing.
I got you.
Then I had like just, some of my friends from college and high school and other people I just knew who were not really in politics who were just like, oh, that's hilarious. That's so cool that you, like, the president noticed your column, good for you, man. And it was mainly that from like my friends and people I knew. But then online, you mentioned the Chapo Trump House. And those dudes, so here's what I tweeted back. I was like, treating it like, because it's true, our president is basically like another dude on Twitter. So I was like, hey, follow me back so we could DM, right? Like,
right.
Like it was a normal Twitter thing, which I thought was kind of funny.
Right.
And then they interpreted that, because that expression, like, slide in my DMs, is like a way, you try to meet somebody online or something like that. So
let me guess. They interpreted it as you being serious because you want to have like a real personal relationship with Donald Trump. Is
I'm
that
trying
right?
to like stalk him in like a weird gay sex thing. It's like, it was like, so they, they just try to go in on that, but
these fucking, you know what? Let me just tell you something. I hope you know that these dudes are player haters. Okay, if they're player haters, and if they couldn't say, "Yo, that's dope," and read your article and be like, because we're all, even these hipster fucks and these hipster elites, in terms of this political thing, this anti-Trump thing, we're all on the same page. These dudes are straight chump. They're player haters, and now they're probably really heated because they tried to bury you 6 weeks ago. We fucked them right here on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You fought back, and then you get this, and the people that read your column and that support you and that understand what your point of view is, and then just read that article. Forget your every other thing, because I read it before I called you to get an understanding of it. Just goes to show that those guys are just jealous punks, and they don't even take the time to read things. These hipsters with the glasses and the coffee and the cafe au lait, they're not as smart as they might look. See, now they're like dressing the part. It's like before you just like, you look like a Melvin. Now people want to look like a Melvin but not do the work to actually get called a nerd fuck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, there's, by the way, I mean, like, it's just like in the rearview mirror at this point. I mean, like,
yeah, man.
They peaked.
You tell them I ain't looking at you. I'm looking past you, Eli.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
that. To quote
like,
the great Jay-Z.
Right. Or I was trying to think of that other line, like, what is it? Malice said this in one of those clip songs, like, my shades are clown proof. That's why I don't see you clowns in your clown shoes, like that kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, they're not even on your level. But first of all, we were so happy. I got so many texts. I got so many tweets, so much social media. Yo, your boy got shouted out.
Word.
The official, like maybe we get Trump on the podcast.
That was so great,
like,
by the way, when I saw that. Like the Rap-A-Pack support was great. I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So the whole podcast community loved it. Like Twitter, some of the stuff you might even see, like in my Instagram, people on my DMs, Facebook, a whole bunch of people hit me up. So going specifically to the article because G Moody, you're going to have to hear some of G Moody's wacky takes on politics right now, but specifically the Flynn of it all and the Russia of it all and what you were saying. Break it down to me in layman's terms. What your concerns are specifically in that article that you wrote that Trump was referring to.
So off the bat, I think there needs to be an investigation from the intelligence community, the FBI, and Congress into the Russian effort to influence the election. That doesn't mean they caused Trump to win. It means they were one factor. And any connections between the Trump campaign and the Russians. And there are already those connections that are out there. The New York Times, the Washington Post have written a lot of these great stories, and I've written a little bit about this too. And that should be investigated. Mike Flynn is said by anonymous officials to have had contact with the Russians during the campaign. It's murky if he did during the campaign, but he certainly afterwards, when he was going to be the national security advisor, spoke with the Russian ambassador. And in that situation, I don't find that to be unusual or illegal or anything scandalous. If he was involved in coordinating the email leaks of leading Democrats with the Russian military intelligence service during the campaign, by all means, that's terrible, but we haven't heard that. That's separate from this. It's all very murky because we're getting like little bits and pieces of this massive investigation. Now, listen, here's the thing. That investigation needs to happen. But if you leak bits and pieces selectively of an ongoing probe, that is not good for the validity of your whatever you end up doing when you take it to a court and you figure it out. But the other thing is that it's unfair to people because you may have gotten this wrong. That this happens all the time in major cases of the government. Sometimes the government has a theory of their case and they get it wrong, or sometimes they think it's one thing, and especially in intelligence, they think it's one thing and then they realize, oh my God, they put it together, it's actually this. I mean, I could give you some specific examples if we want to go deep on this, but it's just something to sort of be aware of. And if all we know about Flynn are these conversations after the election, then I'm asking myself right now what it is that is this, what would justify this kind of breach where you're basically, detailing to the press, these conversations that Flynn had with the Russian ambassador and saying he's a liar. And all of these leaks ended up knocking him off. I mean, and that alone, I should just say, is unprecedented. He served in that job for less than a month. He's one of Trump's closest advisors. This is somebody. The fact that he was knocked off is a very good sign for the Democratic Party. It means that this is a really vulnerable administration. It's a big deal. It had huge political impact, and I'm uncomfortable with this basically the cause of that, or the driver of that event to be that people, in the intelligence community, our spy chiefs, people who we entrust with eavesdropping on electronic communications. That's really scary to me.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Moody, go ahead.
I see that you're a Trump guy. If Trump has given you a shout out, what does that do to your clout?
I think it hurts me with the regular kind of media community in a way, because especially the East Coast media elite is really, they're very anti-Trump. But I don't think it's that bad. I've been around a long time. I know a lot of people, so I'm not that really worried about it in that sense. I have a good job. But in terms of the audience, it means that I'm reaching a lot of people who are usually going to be turned off from the mainstream media. And I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to keep these readers, Moody, because I'm probably, my next column is going to be probably anti-Trump, and they may write me. I get all kinds of mail. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people write me hate email or nice job or whatever. But I like the opportunity to reach people, especially to have an audience sometimes that maybe other people in the mainstream media don't. But it's not going to affect how I write it and how I do it.
Did you get any crazy tweets today, like hate tweets from the liberals that didn't read between the lines or take the time to read the article?
I got a lot of liberals kind of were pretty respectful, but then there were a few people there. Yes, because it was so big, a lot of people just saw that because it was tweeted out. They just assumed that I was now like sucking up at Trump, and I was going to become his press lackey or whatever. And I mean, I don't know what to say. I was like, hey, read the column, you make up your mind, judge yourself. But it was fine. It was good.
Well, we're happy for you, and we're proud of you, and we're excited for you, and I hope it pushes you to get the opportunities and that you want out of your career, because obviously we think you're great at what you do. Oh,
and I think you guys are great too. I appreciate it. That's very nice. Nice to say. And the Rapid Pack is terrific as well.
You'll love the Lord Finesse interview that we just put out a podcast. You had probably a busy day,
that's on my play next. As soon as I finish listening to the wrap up of the morning show, I cannot wait for that.
So what else is going on in politics in Russia that is exciting to you, concerning to you, and that you could break down for me, G Moody, and the listeners, because I really think it's important. I've never been so active in reading, and having conversations and just sort of, learning and keeping myself, educated as best I can. What else is hot topics, things that are of concern for you or positive?
Well, topic number one is the free fall of the Trump administration. The New York Times ran an interview in the paper today with the current serving commander of Special Operations Command, who said, I'm very worried about the stability of our own government right now. It's a real thing. We got a spy ship off the coast of Connecticut from the Russians. We've got, a lot of these, the fallout of the raid in Yemen, all these sort of regular challenges, but at a moment when there's a crisis in leadership and a crisis at the White House. And they're taking a lot of L's this week. I mean, Flynn is a big one, and then they just had to withdraw their labor secretary. You're starting to see a very different tone right now from a lot of Republicans in the Senate. So from the view from Washington is the Trump White House is in trouble. He might be able to recover. It's early days, but it's not normal right now. And that is, I think, the big thing to watch. And I think in some ways, the protests from the travel ban in the airports and the fact that you had the unprecedented size of marches for the Women's March and everything like that, that set the tone of saying people were outraged and they weren't going to take it or anything like that. And now you're starting to see, I don't want to make it too much. I mean, I think, as I said, there's a lot of factors that led to the Flynn thing, but you're starting to kind of see like there's an effect in Washington now where I just feel like the Trump team is, it's a breakdown. Did you see Kellyanne Conway in the last few days coming out and saying stuff and then being contradicted by Sean Spicer? That shit is crazy. That it's not it's wild.
No, I did see it. And you know what else I saw that I noticed in Kellyanne Conway?
What?
She didn't have the spunk that she started off with.
She looked tired.
She looked tired and she sounded tired. And she wasn't as combative and as sharp. And like you just said, we're so early in it. I guarantee you. Here's my two predictions. Number one, Kellyanne Conway will not make it through the year at that job. She'll either quit or get fired. And that's number one. Number two, here's my other prediction, because G Moody thinks he's Mr. Prediction, Mr. Nostradamus, co-host Stradamus. There's no fucking wall being built. Trump already knows that there's no wall being built. The logistics and finances of it, it's never happening. So I don't believe there's any wall being built, and Kellyanne Conway will be gone. I don't even think it'll take a full year. I think probably by September, she'll be gone.
I would say on your wall thing, I think you're mainly right. I think there will be something where you can have a photo of a wall, and it'll say that's the wall, but it will not be a wall throughout the entire border.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? There'll be like a wall, then there'll be some fence, and there'll be some, you know what I mean? There'll be but he'll have a picture of a wall, and he'll be like, hey, I built a wall.
Like a CGI wall.
We can't believe...
it'll be like there's a wall right here, but it doesn't go the whole way across the border. It stops.
We can't believe what you two guys are saying, because you have predicted that this guy wouldn't even be in the White House. He
Fair
was
enough.
laughed at. He was mocked. So we need to take you and Rapaport with a grain of salt.
Because G. Moody's one prediction out of
Not
96.
Me. Not me. You were wrong.
Yes.
This is why
I
Donald
was wrong.
Trump.
I absolutely.
This is why
I
Donald
didn't
Trump
see it
could.
coming.
This is why he could look at you and the media and say, "What the hell do they know? They said I was fucking chopped liver, but I am now the president of these United States."
And that worked for like a week. And then shit
It's
came
falling
down
apart.
on him. I'm just saying it worked for a week, but now they're like, you can feel it. They're in retreat.
Yeah, I see it.
Yo, Eli, the new catchphrase is, when will America be great again? Because he said, make America great again. So when do we start going, hey, asshole, you said it was going to be great again. Like, when do we start pressuring you? You know what I'm saying? So you could use that. If you want to write an article and it inspires you, please run with it. Because you know how he's like, make America great again. Everybody got hyped. And I know it's a little early, but like, I don't know, 3 months. He's a big shot. You know, he's a tough talker. Well, America's not great yet. Nothing has changed. When will America be great again?
It has changed. He put the ban in. His campaign promises he's fulfilling. And those judges will lift these bans and it will stay in place.
Eli, please explain to him, debate him on what he just said.
No. I think, first of all, I think Moody's right. I think that the Ninth Circuit decision is dubious. They didn't even mention the relevant law, and I think it will eventually be overturned. And he is going to have a freeze in travel and immigration. I think that's definitely coming, and I just don't think it's going to be logistically possible to build a continuous wall. As I said, I think there'll be sections of wall, but it won't be a continuous wall. And I think he'll, because some of it's just not practical. And already his guy in charge of Homeland Security has indicated that it might not be a continuous wall. But I do think I think Moody's correct on the immigration ban. And I think he's going to do other stuff too. I mean, I think he's going to try to outreach to the Russians, which we should all be really worried about. I'm super worried about it. I'm against that. But I think he's going to try to do that too. When you say
outreach to the Russians, what does that mean, outreach to the Russians?
I think, and I'm still trying to report it out, but I'm going to give you where I'm at. I think so the little history lesson. After World War II, there's a famous conference called Yalta between the Soviet Union and the United States. And in that conference, basically, the two remaining superpowers, Joseph Stalin and Harry Truman and Winston Churchill, divided up the world. So there were a lot of smaller countries in Europe, and, Romania ended up in the Soviet bloc, and Italy ended up in, the Western bloc. And I think Trump wants a Yalta-like summit with Putin to basically resolve their differences from the Ukraine to Syria to the Arctic, etc. And that is something that I think is extremely dangerous. And I'm very worried, even though I know he says he's a great negotiator, that's going to end up good for the world. And I think, if it ends up being that we back away from our NATO allies, I think it's going to be just bad for a number of reasons. We won't have credibility as an ally anymore. So I'm really, really worried about that, and I think he promised it on the campaign trail. He says it again and again, and I'm very worried that he's going to try and do that.
Shit.
Yeah, that's bad.
But what is his thing with Russia and Putin? Why would he do that?
So I'm very, as I said, we have a number of questions about his long-standing relationship with Russian oligarchs. We know that, like, in the 80s and 90s, he had relationships with the Russian mafia. We know that there might be Russians who are buying a lot of his very expensive real estate. And that doesn't even get into the fact that at one point he had a campaign manager whose name was on a ledger in Ukraine of this pro-Ukrainian autocrat who was ousted in a popular rebellion there. So all of these things are really big red flags, but we don't know. We don't know yet, and there hasn't been any evidence emerging that the Trump campaign worked with Russian intelligence to hack the election and do all the dirty tricks they try to do to influence the election. So that's still we don't know. In fact, nothing's really come forward that sort of says that yet. But on the other hand, Henry Kissinger and lots of other people in foreign policy have long been arguing now for like 10 years the U.S. should try to work more closely with Russia, particularly against, ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the threat of radical Islam. And that certainly was the view of Mike Flynn, who was just ousted. So in that sense, there are people who are serious who have taken this view. I'm not among them. I think that's a fool's errand. But I don't want to justify it because I think there's all these other questions. And then the thing that really we should be very worried about is when Trump says, well, Putin's a killer, and his response is, well, you think we're so innocent. We are nothing like Putin. We don't do that in this country. We're a very different country, and he shouldn't be making that moral equivalency, and that's very troubling. I don't know why he does that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, where's Al Michaels? Remember the Miracle on Ice? I thought we fucking got rid of the Russians. We beat them in hockey.
Right.
Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in miracles? I thought it was fucking done, and now all of a sudden we're back with them. Like, do we need to play these fucking guys in hockey and straighten them out one more time? We fucking beat them in hockey. Remember that?
Yes.
Motherfucker.
We beat him in hockey. We unified Germany. What else do we need to do?
What do we got to do here?
Right. And the Russians are like a menace right now. It's I know, we should be very concerned about it. The good news, I guess, in that respect is that there is a bipartisan consensus with Republicans and Democrats emerging in Congress that they don't want to go that route.
Right.
But as president, Trump has enormous executive authority, in part because George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, and later Barack Obama expanded constitutional powers of the presidency. And now we got Trump.
All right. I'm going to let you go.
Can I just say, a little off topic?
Of course.
The Oakley pod and the Oakley movement, and I'm a Sixers guy, but I've always respected Charles Oakley. I remember when he was on the Bulls.
Yep.
That was classic. I mean, that's classic I Am Rapaport.
Well, I appreciate that.
You got it way ahead of that. You were like
you know who the Democrats need to have come in their office to straighten this whole shit out is Charles Oakley.
Absolutely.
Get Charles Oakley, hook him up with some people, let him run for office, bring him into like a Senate meeting. Yeah. Trump won't try any of that bullshit with Charles Oakley.
I mean, I gotta say that was like the one thing. That story with Dolan and Oakley was one of the things that kind of kept me. It was like great respite from Trump and all this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree.
When that happened, I think everybody who's an NBA fan was focused on that because the Knicks, they're not like the Celtics, but they are historically. And by the way, Moody, why were you saying that nobody cares about that old shit? What is that about?
Well, think about it. It's been so long. The NBA and other teams have won championships. They have a more Cleveland, Golden State. The Knicks are fading away, and it's not really the mecca of basketball anymore. People come into the Garden to destroy the Knicks. So the lofty position that they held is fading. That's why I say it's not what people really think. They don't think of New York City like that anymore.
Eli, haven't you caught on that fucking Moody is like the devil's advocate on fucking on rum and coke? Haven't you caught on to that? He's like the devil's advocate
I know.
on honey rum.
No.
Here's what
I'm right.
As a long-suffering Sixers fan, sometimes even when you don't win the championship, and everybody wants to win the championship, sometimes like if you just have a memorable team or a memorable player, I'm thinking that John Starks dunk Bernard King. They weren't champions, but they were. Those are the things that make basketball so great. Great.
Yeah, I love those guys. I said that. But you have to. It's close. But what? What did Red Auerbach say? Close, but
no cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Fair enough.
All right, Eli, I'm gonna let you go again. Yo, congratulations. Keep doing your thing. Keep growing.
Yes.
Don't back down. And I appreciate you, being the official, unofficial political correspondent for the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast.
Yes.
All the fans love it. You help us, get perspective on things and bring a little levity to the politics.
Thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right, peace out.
Yo, all soft-ass I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast t-shirts are available at districtlines.com/I Am Rapaport. We got the 5-star stereo podcast tee, the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast zip-up and pullover hoodies, the full Iverson t-shirt, the Stickman t-shirt collection, the I Don't Fact Check, the hard body karate t-shirt for men and women. Go to districtlines.com/I Am Rapaport. If you're into YouTube, subscribe to our page for exclusive content that we're going to be rolling out. Go to www.youtube.com/Rapaport. We got our own page on YouTube, people. All right. If you're into YouTube, subscribe to our page. Again, www.youtube.com/I Am Rapaport. All right. That's it.
That's it, man.
It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. We're done.
Miles, give me some funk. Give me that Texas Twister.
That's one of your beats.
Yes.
Moody beats. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, and we're out.
Well,